So, but let's talk about what we're here for today. Number one, the fast track thing, I would, get in there if you could. Monica made that available for my wife in the very beginning, actually before she even passed her test. Monica pulled her in and she was available to the classes and stuff like that, helping her get fast tracked to the business. And so encourage you to always put yourself in a position to keep learning. Allow yourself to be in a position to keep learning and keep being educated and built up and coached and trained, because training isn't something that you did, it's something you continually do. Always remember that. Training isn't something you did, it's something you continually do. Look at some of the greatest players of all time when it comes to sports or any industry, whatever it might be, and look at the best of the best. They're constantly training. They're allowing themselves to be open to learning continually. Continued learning, continued education is so key to success. And in this business, also, she was talking about leads, and we're going to talk about a few things here. But in this business, I want to ask you a question. What do you need in this business in order for you to do business? Huh? People, leads, relationships, and opportunity, right? So in order for you to do business, what do you need? You need an opportunity to do business. So how do you get opportunity? And that's one of the things we want to talk about, is giving you the ability to find opportunity. It's like anything. I do a lot of automotive sales training as well. And when it comes to, sales in general, conversations, that's all you need. You need an open door for a conversation. I literally can be dropped into a sea of 100,000 people and walk out with, tons of friends that I've never met before. Why? Because I know that if I get in there, I can very easily put myself into a position of strangers and then walk away with people that I have contacts with, figure out, we have same common beliefs and, common ground, and, we bond and all that kind of stuff. Why? Because I've discovered that in order for me in this life to be successful in anything I do, I've got to have conversations and I've got to have relationships. And that's what this is. This business is we're in real estate. Maybe we're realtors, but we are in the people business. That's the business we're in. You're not a realtor speaking to a client or a customer. You're a person speaking to a person. You got to come from that approach, understanding that you're a person, you're people speaking to people. And when we get the idea that we are people who are just talking to other people, now it's not as much of a burden for us to do that, because when we approach it from the role of realtor or salesperson and client, it now becomes less human. It becomes role driven. And you don't want to have it be role driven. You want to have it be people driven, right? Because you're trying to help somebody. Don't try to sell someone, try to help someone. When you go into it with the intention to help them, then you're going to be able to bring them to what their desired result is. Many times, especially, it's a big purchase, right? When you think about when people are coming to purchase a house or to sell their house, there's a lot of emotion attached. There's a lot of, voices that they listen to, a lot of people, a lot of research, a lot of things that are giving them all these different anxieties and feelings and not sure and all this stuff when they come to you. And you don't see any of that. All you see is them. But there's all the stuff happening underneath that you don't see. But it's your job and it's your skill to be able to extract the things out that are most important and necessary for you to be able to discover what's needed in order for them to be able to make the decision to say yes. Because you have to give them confidence, right? If you can't provide to the person you're speaking to confidence, then they're not going to feel confident to pull the trigger. And so what we're going to talk about today is we're going to talk about how, let me make sure I do this right, how to be the exception and stand out in real estate. Because here's the deal. Is this a crowded room right now? Yes. But in this industry, is it a crowded industry? Yes. So how do you stand out in a crowded room? How do you stand out in a crowded industry? Has anybody, and I'm sure you have, gotten that client or customer that says, well, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to interview 5 of you realtors, and I'm going to have 5 interviews, and then once I have those 5 interviews, then I'll make a decision. And then they stop with you, and you were the first. Anybody ever have that happen? Isn't that the best feeling? You just basically said, no need to look further. You found the person that you need to work with, and they said, let's do it. Let's go. And they sign up, and they sign that buyer's agreement or whatever it is. And so why? You've got to stand out. You've got to put yourself in a position that makes you, because you are unique, that makes you be the one that when they see you and they leave the presence of you, they're like, I found them. I found her. This is the one. And so what we want to do is we want to help you get there, because in a crowded market, we've got to stand out. So with that being said, we're in a room of amazing realtors, a lot who have done a lot of good stuff. So I want to ask you, and I want you to help me, in a crowded market, what makes you stand out? What makes a realtor stand out?
Preparation.
Huh?
Preparation.
Preparation, I like it. Okay, so preparation. Hold on one second. Let's just stop there for a second. Preparation. Okay, thank you. Preparation. So once I heard one of my instructors when I was in Bible school said, preparation time is never lost time. Preparation time is never lost time. What you do before the event is more important than the event itself. You've got to prepare for what you're going to do so that when you're in the thing that you're doing, you succeed, right? Like, think about it. Like, when I was in high school, I was not driven. I was not prepared. I was not focused. All I knew is I needed to walk across the platform. It didn't matter the condition that my grades were in. As long as I graduated, that's all that mattered. So, but then there were the people, there's the valedictorians, there's the National Honor Society students, like my wife, who would have, if we would have met in high school, we probably wouldn't be married today. I was the kid that was not looked at, and like, when you look at the yearbooks, I don't even know if they do this anymore, but like, most likely to succeed, that was not me. If there was probably like a most likely to not succeed, it was probably me. Like, that was based off of where I was at that time, right? But at the same time, later on, as I got focused and as I got more into, understanding what my purpose in life was and who God made me to be and how I was created and what made me tick and the things that drove, gave me drive and drove me to purpose, I started to understand the value of preparation, the value of what I need to put inside of me, the value of what I need to focus my mindset on, the value of what I need to keep my attention towards and to stay away from. Why? So that I can keep myself in a position to succeed. So preparation time is never lost time. And what's going to make you stand out and be unforgettable is the level of preparation. Because we all do, again, don't forget, there's levels to everything, right? There's levels to everything. Some people, are maybe at this level here, and then some people are at this level here. Well, the people at this level here have done more behind the scenes, typically, than the person that's here. You see, so many times people think that it's just luck, and maybe there is a little bit of luck to it, but luck is typically intersects with preparation. When you become, luck happens when you're prepared more. You ever find the more you prepare, the more, activity creates activity, motion creates emotion, or emotion creates motion. So you have all these different things. When you have activity working in the background and you're putting in the effort and you're doing the things, all of a sudden stuff just comes together. Why? Because you've prepared. So your level of preparation can be changed. How you prepare can change. What you do today may be different than what you did 2-3 years ago. Or if you're just starting, what you're doing now is going to look completely different than what it's going to look like 2-3 years from down the road. So your levels of preparation determine the levels of your success. Does that make sense? Okay? So preparation is so important for anything and everything, especially in this business. Preparation for your mind, your mindset. Preparation for your skill set. Preparation for the area that you're going towards, right? The area that you're going to be showing. Just preparing your route to get there and back. You don't think that matters? The way that you approach how you get to the different locations and what you're showing, the way that you talk, the way that you speak, the words that you use, all of that. You can prepare and change the different ways that you look at how you did things one time. Again, if you start anything in the beginning, it's always harder than what when in the start than after you've done it for a while, right? So again, prepare and get your level of preparation to where it needs to be in order for you to succeed. Someone said to me a long time ago when I used to, go when I was in the marketplace working in the stores and the dealerships, I used to dress up, wear suits and things like that, where a lot of people were wearing kind of like dress down. And like, look at you, man, you look like a dealer principal. I said, because I dress for where I want to be, not for where I am. So many times it's just all about how you dress, how you hold yourself, how you carry yourself, how you take care of yourself to prepare for what you're going to, not just what you're in. Are you with me? All right. So what is it that makes us stand out? Preparation. Someone said communication. Who was that? Okay, communication, right? Communication. Many times, communication. Many times this can be the difference between a deal or no deal. Is the way that we communicate, right? Stephen Covey says, seek first to what? Understand, then to be understood. Have you ever read that book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People? It's a great book. Seek first to understand, then to be understood. Many times, the communication starts with active listening. Communicating in the way where you can actively hear and listen to what they're saying so that you can understand, and then you can start talking to them about what's necessary so you can now be understood. So many times we just want to be understood. When people are talking to us, we don't even hear what they're saying because we're thinking about what we need to say back before they even get done talking. And we're trying to cut them off. We're shutting them down before they even just stop talking for a minute and just listen, right? So communication goes both ways, not just what you say, but how you hear. Are you with me? Okay, what else? What makes a realtor stand out in this market and in 2025? What makes you and what will make you stand out? Some of you have done amazing things this past year in 2024. What's giving you the things to get success in your particular area of influence in your market?
DBM, dominant buying.
Explain that.
Well, doesn't mean you have to buy property. You have to find out what's interesting on the seller side or whatever your client is. You got to read, understand, and read the person, find out what their real true motive is, and get to that.
I love that. Now, how do you do that? Share that with us.
Ask questions and shut up and let them talk.
All right.
Ask questions.
Ask questions. I love that. And listen.
I'll just shut up. Just shut up.
About me, God. That's my name.
No, I like it. I like it. This is great. So dominant buying motives, asking questions. Questions, and here's the reason why, because the person who asks the questions, okay, directs the conversation. Wouldn't you agree? I just asked you a question, right? So you have to learn how to skillfully add questions into. It's basically called qualifying, right? In sales, it's sales 101. You have your qualifying questions, and those questions are like heat-seeking missiles. If you ask the right questions, they'll continue to rattle around in that person's mind and heart until you get an answer. And again, and the thing that you're looking for is you're not just asking questions, you're asking great questions so you can get the buying motive, the dominant buying motive. Because there's some things that people want, but there's some things that people need. And they're not the same. I've discovered that what people want might not be exactly what they end up getting. What they want is this, but what they need is that. And they don't realize that until you start having that directive conversation by asking the right questions and then asking the questions, listen, I know you said that this was most important to you, but now it seems like you keep going in this direction. And now, do you really feel like, now we were looking here, but do you feel like if we start looking here, can I at least start showing you some things here? Because from what I'm hearing and what you're telling me now is guiding me here more, I think it might open up some more opportunity. Are you all with me? So by asking questions, you're going to have that come out, and it's going to extract that. And I love that. What a great thing. Dominant buying motive is going to then come out. What motivates them? What makes them do what they're doing, and what's really moving them to make this decision. That's very good. What else? What else makes a realtor stand out and become unforgettable amongst everyone else? Persistence. I love this. Oh my goodness. This is so good. Persistence. Okay? Persistence breaks down resistance. I'm telling you, if you continue to persist and push and move forward in a way where you're trying to continue to move towards the goal and the finish line, it happens more often than not. Persistence. I have a good friend of mine who's a dealer who just posted something yesterday on his Facebook page, and he talked about, he had a picture of the vendor from Edmunds.com standing next to him, shaking his hand, and he goes, persistence. He goes, 2 years this guy's been showing up. 2 years he's been coming in trying to get my business, and today's the day where he just earned it because he was persistent. And he puts it on there, and I texted him. I said, man, you love good follow-up, right? Because your fortune in this business is in what? It's in the follow-up. Your fortune in anything you do in this business will be your persistent follow-up. Listen, I'm going to tell you, I'm grateful for the immediate, I had to get my face thing so it can turn on. So I'm grateful for the immediate sale. I'm grateful for the first action that turns into a sale. But typically, it's not going to be that. It's not going to be that first contact that turns into sales. As a matter of fact, 2% of sales happening in the first contact. 2%. 2%. And so reverse that. That means 98% does not happen in the first contact. Are you with me? So 2% happens in the first contact, 3% happens on the second, 5% on the third, 10% on the fourth, and between the 5th and 12th contact, 80% of deals are put together. Okay? So that means if you're not following up and you're not being persistent, and again, persistent doesn't mean annoying. You're only annoying if you have nothing to say. Right? If you have nothing to give, then you're a bother. I don't want to bother them. I don't want to. And you have to put yourself in that position where now you're starting to think for them. Right? I always try to tell people, look, don't think for them. You're not calling to bother, you're calling to help. You're calling to get them to the finish line. Why? Because you understand the value of bringing them to the close. They don't start this so they can continue to just drag it out as long as possible and make it annoying and make it a burden and make it something that, no, they want to get this done. They started so that they can finish. Right? People will tell you, yes, they're in the buying process. They're just starting the process. It might take a little while. There might be a few. How many times Lisa has sat with a customer or client who she's just going out to meet for the very first time? Next thing you know, they're 2 days later, 3 days later, they're saying yes and they're putting an offer in. You know how many times it's happened when she's telling me about what's going on with them, and I'm like, wow, thinking to myself, maybe this isn't going to happen. And all of a sudden, she's like, we got an offer. And I'm like, look at you, shutting it down. So, but the thing is you've got to understand the reality of, as you continue, there's something to be said about continuing, right? You got to continue. Persistence, and it breaks down that resistance. You put yourself in a position to be valuable in what you're saying, and when you call, and when you text, and when you have them on that collaboration center, and when you're sending out emails, and all the different things like that. Okay, so these are some things. What are going to set you apart? What else? What else sets you apart? We got persistence, we got preparation, we got communication, discovering by asking questions, the dominant buying motive. What else?
Passion and joy.
Oh, passion and joy. My goodness. This is amazing right here. Passion and joy. Nobody what's the difference? The difference between passion and joy is depression and sadness. Like, do you want to deal and talk to somebody who's depressed and looks like they're having the hardest day of their life and has no joy in their life? No. You want to be that person and brings passion to the customer or client when you're talking to them. And what does passion look like? Passion looks like excitement. Passion looks like I'm fired up to do what I do on a daily basis. I'm fired up and excited to help you to find the home of your dreams, right? So this is the thing that you have to enjoy, is seen in your face. Are you happy? I'm so happy. Yeah, well, notify your face. Because, it's like, some people are so afraid to smile, they think their face is going to crack. Like, I don't, like, no, like, smile. Like, let people see the joy. Joy is seen, and passion is seen, right? So passion and joy is a huge part to be successful. Okay? What else? Let's hear some more. I love it. This is great. This is good stuff. And again, this is not my notes. This is what you guys are doing and seeing out there. And I'm just kind of embellishing on that. So what else? Knowledge. Oh my goodness. This is a good one too. Knowledge. This is great. This is why I like collaboration, right? To be able to talk amongst people who are out there doing it. Because what does knowledge give you? Confidence. Because knowledge gives you power and it gives you confidence. So who's newer in the business right now? Couple hands? Okay, good. All right. So the newer ones, like how many days, weeks, months? Newest. 1 month. Okay. Okay, not even a month. So now you're starting to get some more knowledge here and there, right? Is it helping? Is it boosting confidence? Who's been doing it? Like Shelly, 16 years. Are you more confident now than you were on your first month?
Yes, definitely. But I feel like it's constantly learning. Like the knowledge is always learning.
Yes.
Because even all these years, I mean, we haven't all worked in every area
Yep.
of this whole region.
That's right.
We're always learning something new.
That's right.
Everything changes.
100%. Yes.
Don't get comfortable.
Yeah. No, you're right. And things are new. There's always new stuff coming out, new products. The markets change. The markets go up, markets come down. They stabilize. They have different trends. They have different things with rates and different lending things that change as well. So there's a lot. And then just, the economy, the world, everything changes. And so it changes. So knowledge is just continual. And it goes back to what we're saying, training, coaching, learning, devouring, and taking up knowledge is just constant. The scripture verse says that my people perish because of a lack of knowledge, right? So when you don't have knowledge, you cut yourself off from success. But when you do have knowledge, you put yourself in a position to go in that direction of success because you're putting yourself to an understanding, knowledge, understanding, wisdom. These are all things, and wisdom is just simply skillful application of the understood knowledge that you have. So it's important. Continually learn. Let yourself become just a continual learner. Don't be a know-it-all, but be a learn-it-all. Continue to learn constantly. Are y'all with me? Are y'all with me? Okay. What else? Anyone want to give anything else here? All right, that's good. It's good. This is good for us to go into our next slide here. So, well, let me see here. What does it say? Be the exception. Okay. So, how to be the exception, right? So we're talking about how can we be the exception and not be like the most people. Like most people and average people and below average people are typically the crowd. The exception is the few. Are you with me? The exception is the few. So according to NAR here, the below average, most realtors sell between 2 to 10 homes per year. That's most, right? The average realtor sells about 12. And then the exception is 13 or more. So be the exception, don't be like most. How do you get to that point? What is going to bring you to that point? Well, number one, you've got to have something that we call grit. Because grit is resolve. It's courage, it's resolution, it's fortitude, bravery, backbone, steel, spirit, moral fiber, strength of character, strength of will, toughness, hardness, determination, tenacity, bold, guts, vigor, and perseverance. Talk about that persistence, perseverance, right? I was thinking about this yesterday, and this is what I came up with. Grit gets results and influences transformation. It's kind of like how I did that little acronym. I'm an acronym guy. Yeah, my wife knows. So grit gets results and influences transformation. Transformation isn't just achieved through little actions. Monica was talking about this continual, compound effect with Darren Hardy, right? What an awesome book. And what a great concept. Because what you do every day is more important than what you do every once in a while. Are you with me? What you do every day is more important than what you do every once in a while. My son, Jace, he's 12. Whenever we go to my daughters travel, they do volleyball. And whenever we go to hotels together, we go to the gym together. So we'll go down into the gym. And my son wants to do everything, all the whole thing. And he wants to do it all. So I'm like, let's just work on 2 body parts. Let's just do our chest and our tris today. He's like, no, Dad. He's like, we're going to do chest, legs, tris. We're going to do the treadmill. Then we're going to come back and we're going to do push-ups. And we're going to do our back. We're going to do our shoulders. We're going to do everything. I'm like, bro, it don't work like that. Let's go ahead and just do a little bit each day, get you a long way, right? If you do a little bit each day, it's that compound effect, right? It's going to continue to bring you long-term good results. And it's something that, it's there's the rule of 100. The rule of 100 is you do, about 18 or 20 minutes a day of something every single day. That at the end of the year, it's about 100 hours of that thing. And you will be better than 95% of the people in that specific discipline if you do that. Just 20 minutes a day. That's all you need. 20 minutes a day. It's not a lot, but it'll get a lot done. I mean, it's like this. Okay, no, I'm just going to go to the gym for 8 hours one day, or am I going to go to the gym for 20 minutes every day? No, I'm not going to. If you go for 8 hours one day, it's not going to do anything, right? It's just going to make you really miserable. You're going to have really a lot of pain, and you're probably going to do more damage than good. It's overdoing it, right? So a little bit each day gets you a long way. So you go and do that. You put yourself in a position to succeed by doing those little things. But you've got to have grit. You've got to be able to withstand the no's to get to the yeses. You've got to be able to withstand the process. And sometimes the things that you have to trust the process and the things that you need to do to bring you down the road to the success of the sale. I mean, trust me, I want to wave the wand and there's a sale. I mean, every now and then you'll catch. I remember my wife ended up getting a client that was referred to her who on the first day went, first time they talked, went, put the offer in, offer accepted, day one. She's like, oh my God, I wish this was like this all the time. I said, I know. Yeah, right? But and that's the thing. And that was after a lot of struggle deals before that, right? And so at the end of the day, it's like you catch one here and there, but that's not the norm. That's the exception, right? And again, the exception is not the bulk of things. It's the small amount of things. And so if you want to be the exception, you're going to be in a small little company. You're not going to have a lot of company in there. To be the exception sometimes means you're going to have to do things that are going to separate you from others. To be the exception, you're going to have to put in time when maybe you felt like doing something else. To be the exception, you're going to have to respond quicker than maybe you responded in the past. To be the exception, you're going to have to maybe do things faster or better or have a little bit better communication or better preparation or have a better understanding in order for you to be the exception. Are you with me? It's again, it gets results, grit. It gets results and it influences transformation. And one of the things you need to do is build yourself up on a solid foundation of faith and hard work. Hard work. That means you got to put the work in. I mean, it's nice. Everybody wants to hoist the Lombardi. Everybody wants to hold the trophy, but the effort, everybody wants to be on the championship team, but not everybody can handle the level of caliber on that team, in the practice and against the teams that they play at high levels. I'm going to give you an example. My daughter Sophia, She plays on the highest level volleyball travel team. And there was a girl who was on her team that was put on this team, that was put on her team that just quit. She quit and went down to a lower team just this past weekend. After 2 weekends of high level volleyball, she realized she felt like she wasn't able to, she couldn't stay there. She just couldn't, this girl couldn't stay there. So she quit the team and went to a lower level team. Now, there's no shame in that, but she recognized that she wasn't able to perform on that level. Again, everybody wants to stand on the podium, but what does it take to get to the podium? Because it's not just listen, we all want to get to the closing, right? I just want to get to the closing table. I want to be in the office when everything's being signed and I want to cash the check. But there's a lot that goes on in between that. There is a lot that goes on. A lot of prayer, a lot of faith, right? A lot of faith, a lot of hard work, a lot of never quit attitude and discipline, a lot of massive actions and grit, a level of just trying to bring peace and confidence to the customer when they're freaking out and falling apart, right? It's a lot of work, but it's worth the work because it's worth the reward. The reward is worth the work. So you've got to put the work into it in order for you to be able to get the reward that you're trying to get out of it. So don't allow the no's or the rejections of the moment stop you from pushing towards the yes. Because there are some times where you're going to get no's. Listen, I've gotten a lot of no's. But I keep pushing, and eventually some of those no's have turned into yeses. It's like process of elimination. It's like all of a sudden, okay, that didn't work, 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 that didn't work. Oh, wow, this one. All right, this works. And it's like, wow, okay. Yeah, and this is the 5th house, this is the 10th house. This is 3 years with this client. And he got my wife, our friend, for 3 years. I mean, like from the day she got her license till December, he closed, and there was a nice bonus involved too from the builder, so that was even better. So, but at the end of the day, she never stopped. And I even said to her, like, "Yeah, are you going to continue with this? I mean, is this guy going to crap or get off the pot? Like, what's he doing here? I mean, like, what are we doing, right?" So again, it's like consistent persistence and continually hard work, looking and sending and finding and trying. And what about this one? No. What about that one? No. What about this one? No. And all of a sudden, hey, what about that one? Yeah. And there's the yes. So look, I'm good. I'm so grateful for the immediate yes, but over and over, it's going to be more of the no's that brings you to that yes. Okay? Because what happens is the no stretches you. It makes you look different ways. It makes you try other things and become more creative. Don't just roll over and say, okay, you said no, I'm done. All right, I'm just going to quit. Don't quit. Keep going. Find the strength, grab a hold of somebody, get a coach, get Monica, get a trainer to give you that pep talk to get back out there. Come on, get back out there. Kick him back out and get on the mat. Get on the court. Get out there. Let's go. You know what I mean? You got to have somebody in your ear and in your corner that can help you in those low times. Has anyone ever had the low time? I hate the low times. But it's awesome to have somebody who can be giving you that encouragement and that voice and tell you straight, this is what you need to do. Suck it up, get up, and let's go. I don't feel like it. Well, I don't care. Sometimes it's good to have somebody tell you, I don't care how you feel, right? And we're not punching a clock like normal, where jobs where you have to go in and you have to go and do anything. No, you have to be driven, self-driven, to get yourself in a position to succeed. So here's some 4 quick areas to focus on to advance further, to accelerate personal and professional growth, and achieve exceptional results. Number 1. Mindset development, okay? You got to continually develop your mindset. Number 2, skill set development, okay? All right, hold on. I think I got to go like that, sorry. Skill set development. Number 3, branding, marketing, social media, technology, and AI. These are some things here that I mean, this is going to be a game changer for you if you can do it. Number 4, strategies, okay? Planning, forecasting, daily, weekly, monthly habits for you to be able to succeed. The real estate industry is saturated with people. There's just a lot of realtors out there. But if you want to be exceptional, you've got to stand out by mastering your skills, maintaining the right mindset, leveraging technology, and creating excitement with passion and joy, right, for your client. And it's going to all happen through this. So mindset, what does mindset look like? Mindset is simply the set of beliefs that shape how you make sense of the world and how you make sense of yourself. That's your mindset. Your mindset is how you see things, okay? It influences how you think, how you feel, and how you behave in every situation. And how we think determines what we say and what we do. Our mindset matters. And again, mindset development is important. Of course, we want to learn the skills and learn all these other things, but you've got to have a source that provides to you positive influence and positive mindset. It determines how you handle the situations you're in, the challenges that come against you. You have to stay motivated and maintain your focus. You've got to adopt a growth mindset. Learn from mistakes, adapt to change in the market, and continually ask yourself, how can I get better then? How can I improve? How can I improve what I'm doing and get a different result? If you don't like the result, you've got to change what you do. Because if you keep doing the same things you've always done, you're going to keep getting the same results you've always got, right? We think, well, we're just going to come in and just do the same thing, and I'm going to hit $500,000 this year. Well, what are you going to do different? I'm just going to keep doing what I've always done. Have you ever done that before? Have you hit 500,000 before? No. Well, you have to change something then, because if nothing changes, right? So if you want something to change, then something's got to change. You got to do something different. Okay, so you've got to allow yourself to learn. Ask yourself, how can I improve? How can I get better? Stay curious, ask questions, and be open to learn. I feel and find that the people that succeed most in any industry are the ones who are continually asking questions. What would you do? What would you have done? I've done it this way, but what would you do? Ask the people who've been down that road before. People that you want to see, you want to get to a certain level, you got to ask the person many times that's been down that road. It's like if we go somewhere and we have somebody that we know is going to be coming to that same place, and there's a roadblock or there's a detour, we call them. Hey, I just want to give you a heads up. We're about 6 miles ahead of you, and there's a huge accident. We got off at this exit. You should probably do that too, just so you don't get stuck in this and have to deal with the frustration of this. Why? Because we're there already. We're down that road. And so it's the same thing. If you have somebody who's been down that road, somebody who can give you guidance, hey, look, and again, the older I get, the more I sound like the older generation when I was younger. That told me, when I was your age, right? When I was your age, I did this, and it'd be best if you did that. And now I look back, and some of the things that I thought were foolish were such wisdom, right? And so it's good to get in, link arms with somebody who can help provide you with answers and solutions. And you need to focus on the solution, not the problem. Many times the problems provide the solutions. If you look inside the problem long enough, you'll find the solution within there, right? So you'll be able to see that, look, if you want to achieve certain things and there's a problem there, well, what's causing the problem? And then you realize, well, if that's causing the problem, then we just need to fix that. And that's what's going to get us past what we need to do in order for us to make this work. Having kids, if you have kids, you probably all know this, kids are the most resilient, most creative, and some of the best closers I've ever experienced. And my daughter, Jaylee, will ask me, if she wants something long enough or bad enough, she's going to ask me 20 different ways. And she will do everything to share with me the value and benefit of why it's important for her to have that. Like, she'll be like, Dad, this would be good. And plus, by the way, you know what that does for you, Dad? That'll take the time away. You'll be able, and she'll tell me all the reasons why it's going to be beneficial for me for her to have that and to get that. She's like the master closer. I'm like, where does she get? And I say yes. And Lisa's like, did you say yes? I'm like, I couldn't help myself. I'm like, she was good. That was a good close. You gotta respect it. Respect the close. She closes me all the time. Yeah, I give it back because she deserves it. I mean, that was a good example she gave. Because again, you've got to figure out the solution, not the problem. And eventually you give so much facts and knowledge and provide all the different things. And they're like, oh, you know what? All right, let's do that. So focus on solutions, not problems. A positive mindset attracts clients and opportunities more than a negative mindset. Listen, it boggles my mind. I sometimes hear some of the conversations my wife has with realtors, not in here or not from Weichert, but realtors and other, brokerages that say things. I'm like, what the heck? So I thank God for Monica and the ability that she's been able to bring to this brokerage, and with her skill set and her training and the things that she gives to y'all. I mean, if you've never been anywhere else, I mean, it's not the same. This is not the same. Okay, this is the exception. That's why we have so many exceptional realtors here. So it's so important. Stay linked with the people that can give you wisdom, knowledge, and help you get to that next level. Skills, we talked about, again, skill set development. What does that look like? And let me just share with you this. I have a playbook here. In this playbook, it's a realtor playbook. Okay, it's about 100 pages. All right. And in here, you'll see there's a lot of things that focus on all of the skill sets and the mindset development and stuff that we're talking about here. Habits focus that you can focus on, tracking your progress, right? Units sold, money earned, quarter 1, 2, 3, 4. This year I want to sell this many. This year I'll make this much. You can go ahead and start putting your skill set of forecasting, looking what you want to accomplish. We talk about strategies, planning, forecast. Number 4, all that's right in here, right? You can put it in here. Then you can have this next page that talks about your opportunities. What did I say? In order for you to do business, what do you need? An opportunity to do business. So where do opportunities come from? Well, leads, right? We talk about leads. So we got on here, here's your opportunities. Family and friends, phone lead opportunities, LRE, social media, community events, digital retail websites, referrals, prospecting and networking, unsold follow-up, previous customer, third-party leads, door knocking, continuous learning, cold calling, open houses. This is just a reminder of things, walking through parking lots, whatever it might be, in this grocery store, the events, when you're sitting there at volleyball talking to somebody who, or whatever sport your kids play, and they're just telling you about something, and oh, really? You're looking to sell your house? Funny. I can help you, right? All of a sudden, social media. So I mean, there's so many things in here just as reminders. Then you have this, areas of focus. List what I want to accomplish this month for each month. This is what I want to accomplish. Top production agent, top listing agent. Write it out. My pastor used to say this to me. Again, just shows you how old I am. He goes, ink it, don't think it. In other words, don't just think about it, write it down. So, today's, put it on your whatever, digital, your phone, your notes, whatever. Well, you could ink it, write it down. Whether you type it out, write it down, one way or the other. Write it down. Then you have skill set development. You can circle each one that you want to get better in. Areas of focus for this month. Building rapport, qualifying questions, closing. Home showings, overcoming objections, time management, messaging, email, texting, phones, listing presentations, cold calling, prospecting, whatever it might be. Then you have mindset development. Embrace challenges. Don't fear failure. Seek feedback. Surround yourself with growth-minded people. All this is in here. Then you go on to your next part, knowing your numbers and your daily routine. You can have a checklist right here just to go back and keep in front of you and say, you know what, did I do this today? Phone calls, this is just an idea. 30 minimum, 15 emails, 20 text messages, CRM. Again, I didn't even talk about CRM, but CRM should be your best friend. CRM can help you with automation and all these other things that can create for you activity to generate and keep in front of the people that you're talking to, which can also go back to branding. Because again, branding is all about, you want to be like beach sand. Have you ever heard this before? Did I tell anybody this before? You want to be like beach sand. We go to the beach all the time. And when we go to the beach, we put all our stuff back into the car, and everybody else goes in the house, and I'm always left taking everything out and putting it back into the garage. And then I'll sometimes go to the car wash and try to get that beach sand out, and it doesn't come out. I'm like, I think it did. And then I get back home, and all of a sudden there's more beach sand. It just keeps showing up. And that's what you want to be like in this industry. You want to just keep showing up everywhere. And it's through email and automation and branding and social media and video and YouTube. You just like, oh, there he is again. Oh my goodness, there he, posting all the time. People say to me, my God, you're all over the place. You were in Michigan, you were here, you were over at that school, you're at this place, you're at that real estate place. What are you doing? It may look like a lot more than I really am doing, because I'm saturating in branding so people see. Like, you just keep showing up. You're like beach sand. That's what you want to be like, beach sand, okay? Then in here, you also have on here top closing opportunities that you're currently working. Name, phone number, property address, notes. Okay, buyer, seller. All the information on here. You can just keep this in here to follow up with it. Then you can have a monthly planner. Monday, appointments and hot prospects, daily activities and goals. View inventory, what's out there in the inventory right now. What just got listed, what got sold. Train, daily. Review my goals, daily. Product knowledge, daily. Unsold follow-up, daily. Prospect, daily. Walkthroughs, whatever it is you're doing, appointments set that you set, closings, showings. Track your activity. Track what you're doing. Write it down. See what you're accomplishing for that day. Keep it and then you can review it and go through it. Say, oh yeah, okay. Then you can even go at the end of the week and say, what training did I do? Daily habits, areas to improve on, weekly thoughts. Then you could even go to gratitude. You have a gratitude page. You can write things that you're grateful for. Too many times we get into the cliques, into the circles, into the groups, and all we do is just complain. We just sit there, and we're not grateful. We're just angry and upset and mad and annoyed. And everybody else just needs to die. I'm sick and tired of the world, right? And maybe just me, but for the most part, we get to these, it's important let's remind ourselves of things we can be grateful for. What are you grateful to God for? What have you done that you are grateful for? What did someone else do for you that you're grateful for? What have you learned that you're grateful for? What did someone else say to you that you're grateful for? What have you done for someone else that you're grateful for? What have you done for your family, your spouse, your children, and relatives that you're grateful for? Write it down. The more you focus on what you're grateful for, the more you're going to start to see the joy come out. The more, see, it's very simple. What you focus on is what you become, right? Where your focus goes, your energy flows. You ever hear that? What you've put your focus towards is what you end up being. If you focus on just all the depression and bad things of the world and nasty people and all that stuff, you're going to be like, just miserable. And you're going to throw in the towel. And it's going to be like, where's Dad? He's in the room. It's like 4 o'clock. He's been in there for 5 hours. He's sleeping. Or she's sleeping. What are they doing? No. You're going to get depressed. You're going to put yourself and lock yourself in a position where you don't come out. So be grateful. Then you have a monthly snapshot at the end of the month. Units closed, offers presented, offers accepted. You want to know this. You know what I said to my wife right at the beginning of the year? I said, okay, let's go ahead and look at where all your deals came from. Let's look at and track your sources. LRE leads. We have family and friend referrals. We have open house. Like what is the source that caused your deals to close last year? And where do you want to improve in? If you're not tracking and looking at, okay, if I did 28 deals or 27 deals or 30 deals or 50 deals or whatever the amount is, or 10 deals, based off of those deals, what brought those deals to the closing table? What was the source? And then figure out how you can improve. And then you look at, okay, this one's giving me a huge amount of deal opportunity. This is where I've closed the majority of my deals came from here. That's a good source. Let's not forget. Let's not let that. And not only that, those sources can also help you get your cap quicker and help you get you to a place where you need to, get to with your goals, right? So know your sources. Then look at yourself, phone calls made, text messages sent, emails sent, video sent. You think that don't matter? It does matter. How am I going to track it all? I mean, like, you can, trust me. It's just, do you want to do it? Right? Then you put down here customer objections, this month's hurdles, this month's victories, lessons learned. Then you have, SWOT. You can do a SWOT analysis, strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. You can look at ways to get better. And then you just got a ton of resources that's just in here to help just give you things to just build your mindset, skill set development, and all that stuff as well. So with all that being said, there's a lot more I can say, but this here is a huge part of what's going to get you to where you want to be in 2025. You've got to know where you're going. You've got to have a target that you're aiming for, and you've got to have a plan to get there. You've got to plan your work and work your plan. If you don't put a plan together, then all you're going to do is just go from challenge to challenge. You're going to be like a pinball, like, when the ball goes and just bing, 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 it's just bouncing from one thing to the next with no direction, right? And so you don't want to just be bouncing. You want to go ahead and have a strategic line you want to follow. And then you go ahead and you say, okay, well, here we are at the end of January. I wanted to hit here, and I wanted to get there by this time. And if I looked at doing, if I do this much in January, this much in February, this much, and I'm off. So now I got to add one more or two more somewhere else throughout the rest of this year. And how am I going to get there? You got to have that accountability. You got to have somebody to sit there and have that hard conversation with you. Say, hey, looks to me like you're off track a little bit. What are you going to do? And you've got to do it, right? And in this business, we can come up with excuses or we can make more effort. And that's what it comes down to. It's okay, yes, maybe the excuses are real and there's some things that really got in the way. Okay, but now that's in the past. You can't change the past, but you can do something about the future, right? So now you make the change and you make the addition. So with that being said, I want to just let y'all know I'm available for coaching.